Hey guys, this is Kelly with City Slickers Homesteaders. So I just wanted to kind of talk with you guys today about being aware of who you have come service anything that may be at your house. So our house is actually we rent it from family. So um, we had our AC unit went out 2 weeks ago now. We have had the same company come out 3 times. We trusted them. The family has used them before a couple other times, so we trusted them, thought they knew what they were doing. Well, when they came out the first time, they stated that there was a refrigerant leak and they couldn't find the leak at all, so they were going to put a sealant in, which was going to be like $165 for them to put this in, and then they had to put a whole tank of Freon in to replace all the Freon that was leaked out, and then, you know, the AC should work. Well, it lasted for like 2 days, and then our air went out again. It was over the weekend, right before the 4th of July. So we went that whole weekend with no AC. It was like upper 90s, so it sucked. But they came back out on that following Tuesday, and the guy's like, well, it's running at full pressure. Hey guys, sorry, my neighbor came out, so I was just updating him on what was going on with our AC, because he's noticed the AC guy out here a lot as well. So the second visit came out, said, you know, everything was at pressure where it needed to be, excuse me, and that he just had to readjust some things, that it was running at the 250 pounds of pressure, so he was just going to readjust it, blah, blah, blah. That was like over a $300 visit. So it lasted almost a week when he did that. I'll give him that. And then it went out Monday night. Yes, because Monday was my birthday, so it was Monday night. And I got really frustrated. My in-laws called him to get them to come back out. They came out yesterday around noon, and he said that with the sealant, when they do that it has to run through the system, and you have to basically lose all the Freon before it will seal the hole. And he checked, couldn't find the hole, couldn't find the leak, none of that. So, but then he's like, oh, I only needed to put in 18 ounces of Freon. And the first time they came out, they put a whole gallon in. So I was like, okay, so apparently it's not leaking that much. 5 hours later, about 5 o'clock, 5:30 last night, I noticed the house was starting to creep up again on the temperature. So, come out here, notice it's not blowing cold air out of the register vents, turned off the whole system, and then it starts to, the outside box just doesn't turn on again, which is what it did the first 2 times. So, very frustrated. Ended up calling my ex-husband, because he used to do AC work. He went to school for it and everything, and told him what was going on. So I tore the outside box apart, getting into basically the motherboard of it, all the switches, check the error codes and everything like that. And it was turning off because of a low pressure switch or something like that. So reset the complete system again, turning off all the breakers. It went through its cycle, and that's when I found the leak. So let me take you over there, and I will show you what part it is that is leaking and that they couldn't find. 2 trained technicians on 3 separate visits. Okay, so let's go out here. I'll show you. So we have the unit off, but where that duct tape is, and you can kind of see the ground's a little wet, that's where it was leaking at. 2 trained technicians on 3 separate visits could not find that. Once the furnace went through, or the AC went through its cycles and it would turn off, we would hear the hissing and I seen it basically spurting out on the ground. So we put duct tape on it to keep as much Freon in as possible, obviously, till my ex-husband's able to come out and braze it for us. But it's literally like, so there's the seam there, it's on the seam right there on the underneath, and I got like photos and videos of it. So we will be reporting the company to like the Better Business Bureau and everything like that, because I feel like they were scamming us, because I was the only one home because I work from home, and you know, I kind of felt like they were, you know, trying to BS me because I'm a woman. I don't know that stuff, because it was an older gentleman. Unfortunately, I'm trying not to sound stereotypical, but he was kind of following that stereotypical site there. Hush puppies. So, but I'll even show you the ticket from yesterday. But yeah, that's my ex-husband's equipment. I brought it home last night after I took my boys back to their dad's. And, so, I don't want to show any personal information here. But yeah, so he even put on there, when sealer is used, it may take several trips, adding from before the leak is fixed, or adding Freon before the leak is fixed. So that's the company that did this. But so, needless to say, I called them last night. Here, I'll show you the picture of the dog while I'm talking. I called them last night, and I was angry, but I didn't cuss or anything on the voicemail, because, you know, it was after hours, so I had to leave them a voicemail. And I was basically like, hey, I am requesting that you come out and fix this. I found the leak personally, not you or your technicians. I found the leak personally, and I'm requesting that you guys come out and fix it, and we are not paying you to fix it, because we've already paid them, you know, my family's already paid them over $800 basically for the first 2 visits. So not too happy about that. And he called me back and he was like, there was no need for a voicemail like that, blah blah blah. And I basically told him, you know, like, well, I'm sorry, but, you know, I expect you to do your job. He's like, well, if you're not happy, then go somewhere else. I'm like, why? Because I expect you to do your job. And then he basically said, well, I don't want to speak to you, I want to speak to the owner. I was like, well, if you think I'm mean, wait till you speak to her. And I almost felt like, because my in-laws, it's my mother-in-law and her wife, I almost felt like because he thought that he was dealing with women, that he could scam us and just keep getting paid for coming out and putting on Freon into our system, you know, and we would keep paying him. But I'm sorry, I'm not a stupid woman. I check things out, you know, fool me once, fool me twice, but you ain't gonna fool me again. So, you know, we're reporting them. I made a post on my personal Facebook page with the picture showing the leak by putting some soapy water on it, and you can see the Freon spurting out of it. And so I just want to make sure that, you know, no other people get scammed by them, especially, you know, women, elderly, whatever it may be. Like, I just don't think that that's an acceptable business practice, and especially when he was so rude to me when I called. You know, I worked in customer service, retail, call center, all that for basically since I was, you know, 17 or younger. So I just turned 34, so 17 years at least I've been working in customer service. If I had spoken to somebody at any of my jobs like that, I would have been instantly fired. And I'm assuming, from what I know of this guy, like, I'm pretty sure he's the owner, and how he was speaking to me was just absolutely uncalled for. And, you know, and I wasn't cussing at him. I didn't cuss on the voicemail. I basically just stated I wanted him to come out and fix it, and we weren't paying for it because it could have been fixed the very first time, and we wouldn't have had to pay for them to keep coming out. So I just want to make everybody aware. And so this is the company that did this, and I just don't want anybody else to be scammed by them or anything like that. So, you know, share this with friends, family, whoever. Just get the word out, because I think this is definitely an unacceptable business practice, and it was just completely uncalled for. So I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully won't have any more of these like PSA videos. So thanks guys, I'll talk to you later.